Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday, and welcome to Stehekin State up in the beautiful Washington State area. It's episode 4 of the Nowhere Fast series. We are on the way to Lyndon, Washington, and we're just about there. We have one last leg to do, and I decided to go ahead and have a little bonus stream so that we could get ourselves up to Lyndon and ready for the Bush League event that's going to be tomorrow. Let's get started. All right, here, if you have not been with me for this trip, here's what we've got cooking. This is a new series actually that I started a week or so ago. I took off from Riverton, Wyoming. We flew a leg in Wyoming up to Montana, Kinky Creek to Metzel Creek. That was the first day. The second day we went Lewis and Clark and Big Island, Idaho. And then yesterday, Big Island to Tight Cliff, and then up here to Stehekin State. So we've managed to visit several different states, and today again we're looking for Lyndon Municipal up near the Canadian border, north of Seattle, kind of up in that area. So it's all part of preparation for the Bush League backcountry fly-in that takes place tomorrow. And this was a good excuse, basically, to get this series started. But this is a bonus. I don't know, it's Sunday. I don't know who's around, but if you end up popping in, cool. It'd be great to have you. And I'm going to go ahead and get this bird started. We'll take care of the pre-flight. Our brake is set. Now there is the briefing. Oh, hey, Titanium Druid checking in. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Happy Sunday, my friend. Welcome back. The charts we have, flight control lock is removed. Our mags are off. All of our electrical radios, those are all off. Primer is in and locked. Master switch we're going to turn on. We're going to check our fuel and see how we're doing here. Oh, maybe. There we go. Had a little trouble. A little under half tank. I think what we'll do is add enough fuel to be right at a half tank. It's a fairly short leg today, so hour and 30 minutes I think is what we have. And we'll check the flaps, make sure they go all the way down. Those are looking good. We'll bring those back up to takeoff position. Fuel shutoff valve is on, and we'll get our trim down to takeoff again. The fuel shutoff valve, it defaults to on, so we've checked that 5 or 6 times. It's down there, you can't really see it, but it's defaulted to on. Let me see if I can get a better view here. I keep telling myself I need to just make a camera view specific for it, but I only ever use it once a trip, and so let's see. Yep, this way is off and this way is on, so it's defaulted on. I can almost just take that off my checklist. I think it's always on. All right, we'll turn that off. We'll come back to it here in just a second. Let's get outside and let's take a look around the exterior. And we'll just start by looking at this little under the wing sump, and that looks nice and clear. No floaties, all that good stuff. Work our way down well, just take a look here. The tire looks good, no damage, nothing leaking down there. Still trying to learn my keyboard here. Taking a look at the back of the plane, again checking connections. all looking good. There's a little wear and tear that just kind of comes with the mod. Everything here is nice and tight. Again, I don't see anything that looks out of place. All the edges look good. All these wires are tight. Nothing up there damaged. I don't have a tie down on the back here to remove. Now would be the time for that if I did. Is that a little damage? I don't know what that is exactly. No, that doesn't look like damage. It just looks like a part of it. But again, I'm just looking for, anything that jumps out as out of place. Still not 100% sure exactly what is simulated as far as failures, but I do, want to be proactive if I can, if there is anything that I can fix on the ground before we get airborne. Fuel draw on that side. That looks good. And we can, I believe. Oops. I think we can get up on top here. Yeah. Let's get on top. Let's put gas in that right-hand wing. Reach way down here. We get our gas can. And taking a look here, looks like 12 gallons is... Oh, well, actually, we're a little over half according to this dipstick. I think what we'll do is we'll take it up to 9 just to make sure we're where we need to be. I think that'll be good. Close that up. And see if we can hop back down, trying to see where the step is. There we go. That'll work. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but and the tire looks good. Well, lights look good. Needed to check that out. Darn it. That is one of the things that, again, if you want to check all these things, you have to actually physically move yourself out of the airplane and then around to where you're going. It's kind of interesting. Kind of cool, though. I'm still getting used to it. But you can't just pop to an outside view. It won't let you interact with the airplane. So now I can check the flaps and the ailerons. I do like the wear and tear that comes with this plane with the mod. This is the NH Adrian mod. You can also come in here and we can inspect the engine, look at all the cables and make sure those are all looking good. Check the oil. The oil is looking maybe slightly dirtier. I don't know. And then this is a fuel strainer drain. Looks like the same level, and I can't tell if that's low or appropriate. It's pretty much what it's looked like the entire time. That tire looks good. Oh, and I just popped back out to a view. Now I won't be able to interact. Shoot. All right, well, the last thing I need to do here is remove I'll put the cover back on. I need to remove the chocks. Actually, I do need to also put some gas in. Let me hop up here. Put some gas in the left-hand wing as well. Hey, Black Fox. You were not here. Plausible deniability. Happy Sunday, my friend. What did we do? We did 9, I think, in the other side. There we go. That'll work. Get rid of you. Put you back on, maybe. There is a way, if I can find the click spot, there is a way to hop down off the wing. I think you just step right here. Hope that steps you up. Oh, well, we'll just get down this way. Float down like a magical being. Might be this step to go down, this step to get up, this step to go down. I bet that's what it is. All right. Well, as long as we're here, let's check the leading edge here. We do need to check stalled vanes working. We'll remove the pitot cover. That tube looks good as well, static tube. Those are all in good shape. Let's move around here, check the light. No damage there. All right, I think overall it's in good shape, and I think we're ready to party. Back to the checklist. Back to the master power. We'll turn that on. We're ready to start. We're going to put the beacon on. We're going to put the nav light on. We're going to go mixture to full rich. We're going to crack the throttle. I'll give it a couple of shots of primer. We haven't had to, but it's a little chillier today. Clear prop. Put the key in. And she's running. Get the door closed. Let's get some air and heat going so we don't fog up. Let's get the alternator going so we don't run the battery down. So Titanium Druid, when in this particular walk around, when you remove either chock or the pitot tube cover, it takes all of it off. So we should be 100% good to go. Yep, everything is off. It's just one of those. It's not one of those like the some of the ones you see where you do get to go around and take every little piece off, but this one just does it all at once. Flaps are set. Compass, let's check the compass here. This is sitting at about a 225, I would say. This is slid a little bit. Oh, where are you, click spot? Come on. 225, we'll come around. Yeah, I think that looks pretty doggone good. And yeah, it is. I mean, walkarounds are kind of a cool feature, and I know some things like the Reality Expansion Pack, actually it builds on an extra even layer of walkaround for some aircraft. I don't know if the Reality Expansion Pack, if there is one for the 152 or not, but this mod does give you that little extra layer of reality, I guess. My radios, I'm going to be 2280. And I'm not worrying about my VOR right now. Let's just take a look here. Here is the flight plan. I haven't really done the briefing just yet. So we're here at Stehekin State, and we just landed, kind of coming into the northwest. We're going to depart. Essentially, I think I can depart the same way. We're going to follow the Stehekin River up through the valley, and there's a place up here called Cascade Pass. Cascade Pass is 5,440 feet high, so we need to gain a little bit of altitude. Stehekin State's only 1,200. Yeah, Black Fox, he laments the fact that they don't have the Reality Expansion. Really, the closest thing you have in FSX is what the 808 folks do with their aircraft. And so, yeah, go ahead. You can. In the meantime, I do like that idea of doing a kitchen walk around, just to make sure. You want to be safe when you're baking. But we'll do Cascade Pass. We'll have El Dorado Peak here, and again, we're just following. It looks to me like it becomes the Cascade River, which then empties into. Gosh, what is this? Is this the Skagit River? And then we'll follow the Skagit with, there's a nice road along through Rockport. There's Concrete Muni, which is kind of a very, very famous backcountry. Well, it's not a backcountry, but it's just set in this beautiful wilderness area. We'll take the Skagit River up here. We'll try to find this first little opening, and that'll help us connect with the South Fork of the Nooksack River, and the Nooksack should take us all the way up to Lyndon, and that's where our journey will end. Hopefully, we'll be able to set her down there at Lyndon Municipal 38 Whiskey. All right. Now, Batastic, let's check real quickly here. See if we do have any ATC. We haven't had any ATC really for any of our legs up to this point, which is not a huge thing. It's not like it's a deal breaker for what I'm trying to do, because pretty much everything I do is VFR. In fact, we even worked hard yesterday to try to avoid a Class Charlie airspace. So yeah, nothing going on ATC wise right now. So that's nothing we won't need to worry about doing anything other than just, you know, basically doing our thing with Unicom. Let's go ahead and let's file a flight plan. So we will be VFR. We're going to be leaving 6 Sierra Niner. We're going to be heading up to, gosh, what did I say? 38 Whiskey. 38 Whiskey. I don't really have an alternate right now. If we need to, we can figure it out. There's lots of options there. And 2143, I think we're going to be airborne here in about the next 2 minutes or so. We'll do about 80 knots, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to file 6500. This is a VFR westbound route for all you Canadians. And yeah, that's it. I could even give a little, shout out here if you happen upon this. Stop by and say hello. There we go. We're gonna file. Am I gonna file that yet? I need to. I better make sure I'm connected to the right thing. Oh yeah, I'm not Pan Am 11816. I'm a Cessna 152. I'm not a. I'm not a 727. There we go. Cessna 152. Alright, did that clear my flight plan out again? Yes, it did, unfortunately. Alright, so VFR, 6 Sierra Niner, 38 Whiskey, no, 21, I'll give myself 5 minutes, hour and a half, 80, 6,500, VFR, west, northwest, bound, information alpha, and the little shameless plug there. File that flight plan. Okay. Alright. Pretty sure a big time reality expansion pack is coming in a few months. Oh, very cool, very cool. It's something I'm definitely going to look into myself. I made the switch over to X-Plane just a few months ago, so it's one of those things that I still haven't quite got installed. So let's see, one shout out equals a crate of cookies. Probably. I mean, that sounds about right. This is Washington State, so I'm not 100% sure how that works exactly, but you know, Stehekin State, November 11816 is not broadcasting because this is the same thing I did last time. COM 1 needs to be on. Nav 1 needs to be on. Alright, let's try this again. Stehekin State traffic, November 11816. We're going to be back taxiing to the east for a westbound VFR departure, Stehekin State. There is nobody else here, unfortunately, today. We did have a good group yesterday, if you happen to tune in. We ended up having 4 aircraft that flew in with us. We had a grand total of 3 aircraft that made it up to Tight Cliff, and then we picked up a 4th that flew up the lake and the river into Stehekin State. So it was a lot of fun. We ended up with a nice group and a good group on the chat as well, following and listening and giving me a hard time. But this is we came around this little hillside is kind of where you had to navigate to get yourself lined up, and we're going to take off essentially the same way that we landed. Again, I ask for forgiveness as far as reality goes. I have the weather set for completely clear skies. I have the time of day set kind of midday so we don't run out of daylight. I do know right now the weather up in this part of the world is actually pretty nasty, so that's. But I need to be there by tomorrow just so I can be a part of the event. So that's why I did that. So I hope that's okay with you guys. All right, let's do final checks here, and then we're ready to go. Flaps are set, radios are set, flight clearance we don't need because there's no ATC. We're not going to worry about any kind of a VOR right now. Mixture, we're going to go ahead and lean it, but we're going to first do the run up. Let's get the RPMs up here. Good day for forgiveness. Yep, it is. You're right. As a Christian, I do believe in that. No question. I need it. I need it off of them. I need my friends to forgive me for my shortcomings all the time. All right, here we go. Meg check. We're going to watch the meg drop for the left. All right, and now for the right. Well within limits. We're going to be taking a look at the carb heat drop. That looks good. We are making good suction. We are making good power over here. All of my other instruments are looking very, very good. All right, let's pull this back to idle. Check our flight instruments one last time to make sure everything is looking good. How about my compass? One last compass check here. Yep, about 325. About 325. I think we're pretty doggone close. Black Fox is saying he got his. I'll believe that when I see it. If you get all your little quips and all those little barbs and that's kind of what you bring to the show, man. You're the comic entertainment. You're the comedic element. So you don't have to be quiet, my man. Let's see. Flaps is required. Fuel selector on. Carb heat off. Transponder is on. We're mode Charlie. Ooh, I didn't have that on mode Charlie on X-Pilot, so that's good. Landing light we can go ahead and turn on. And all right, Stehekin State, November 11816. We are departing runway 31, and we'll be VFR departure westbound down the river, Stehekin State. Let's get the mixture leaned out for power. We'll bring the throttle up here. We'll pull the mixture back a little bit. Let's watch that RPM level rise. We'll take every ounce of extra help we can get. At a certain point, it kind of drops right there. Let's back off a little bit. And let's do this. Looking for 50 knots. We do have some trees at the end here that we do need to negotiate. So we can't be farting around. There's 50. Pull back. And we're airborne. Ooh, I forgot something that's critically important. I'm going to put the noise canceling headphones on. Now you can hear me a little better. And away we go. We'll pull the flaps up. And we're going to trim for about a 500 foot per minute climb. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to level out and build a little bit of airspeed. The initial climb, yeah, they're saying about 70, between 60 and 70 is good, but the en route climb they prefer 75 to 85. So we'll do that, but we need to also check our RPMs, make sure we're not redlining. We'll pull that RPM back to about 2300. And there's our river. We're going to follow that river up and away. Okay, there's 80 knots we're making, and we're still climbing. So actually, I think I might just leave her right here and just see how we do. As I look at the sectional here, we do need, like I say, that Cascade Pass is it's a 5,400 foot pass. So we need our 6,500 that we filed, but we do have a little bit of time here. I would say kind of about 10 miles. And if we have to, we'll find a little wide spot. There's a little opening coming up here, and we can do a little bit of a circling climb if we need to. This thing's not a rocket ship, obviously, and it can do 1,000 feet per minute for short bursts, but it's more suited for that 500 foot per minute climb. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we've experienced really the whole flight. Just really beautiful country, just like this. And that's one of the main points of the Nowhere Fast series, is just to fly a bush plane nice and easy through country that you've just never been to before. So I'm estimating that this first leg is approximately 10 to 12 minutes long. And again, the biggest thing we want to do is I need to move over to the side here so I can look down and follow that river. That Stehekin River is kind of our interstate highway right now, and I have a little bit of a choice with this terrain feature. I need to know which way to go, and I think I'm going to go, according to the sectional, I need to go to the right. I think the river also splits. Let's just take a look here for confirmation. Yep, so the river does head that way, but it also keeps going, which is what the sectional shows, so that's a good thing. So we're staying to the right, and then we'll actually have another choice to make here in just a couple of miles. And this next fork in the road, we want to head left, and then ultimately we're looking for Cascade Pass. Cascade Pass is our ticket to Lyndon, essentially. Kind of gets us out of here, gets us to the Cascade River, which later gets us to the Skagit River. All right, doing so far so good. We're 3,500. We need another 3,000 foot to clear. Well, 2,000 to clear the pass, but 3,000 I would feel a lot safer about that. Here comes our next mountain that forces us to make a choice, and we're going to go left. Again, I'm just looking at my sectional, and we should have the yep, there's the river down there still, the Stehekin River. This is the Lake Chelan National Recreation Area, and this is Reynolds Peak right next to us here that we can only see the bottom of. It's a big one. It's 8,500 foot. Off to our left here is a 9,500 foot peak called Bonanza Peak, and that's one it goes a ways. Hard to see that far back, but beautiful place. Happy to be here. Happy to be on the 4th installment of this series. And if you stumble across this video later on and you're wondering what it's about, well, besides seeing some awesome country, it's a chance to kind of find the secret out of the way honey holes. You know, everybody that is a local has that secret spot. And in fact, yesterday when we were flying, we had one of the guys that we were with share one of his favorite airports, and that's the whole point. Is I want to know about these cool little places, because I know that there's got to be a ton of them out there. And so he shared one with me that was out in New York State, which is pretty cool. It's going to be tough for me to fly from essentially clear on the West Coast, clear out to New York State, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to go investigate that particular airport, maybe with a different airplane later on. All right, so we've made our turn, and then I'm seeing here we've got a right-hand turn to make it this particular mountain ridge. Here's what we've done so far. So we took off the first fork in the road, we went right. This last fork we went left, and this guy we're going to go right again, and that should lead us right to Cascade Pass. So it's kind of like I used to play golf: right, left, right. Black Fox is wanting a story. Wait, you said you're going to X-Plane. I have been, yeah. So I was cyberbullied into trying X-Plane out, Black Fox. That evil, no good downwind sim and his partner in crime, Al South MIA, continually harassed me until I tried, until I installed it and tried it, and so yeah, I fly both. I still fly P3D. I've got so much time and effort and resources into P3D that there's no way I'm gonna just give that up. I still enjoy it too. And in many ways I enjoy P3D more than X-Plane. Although I do say after the first few months, at least from a GA standpoint, this is the better sim. This is the preferred sim for me. But for the big jetliners, yeah, I still like P3D slash, I mean FSX P3D. They're similar. So anyway, yeah. So I'm not a total convert, but I definitely do like X-Plane, and it was always something that I was interested in checking out. I just, it's sometimes taking that first step is the hardest thing. All right, well, we're getting there, guys. We're up over 5,000, and I could probably lean out even a little bit more and get a little bit more horsepower. Not too much just yet. We may indeed make our 6,500 before we get to Cascade Pass. I've kind of lost sight. If there is a river down there, it's buried in the trees. One of the offshoots of the Stehekin River. At this point in time, you're almost getting to the headwaters of any river. I mean, this is kind of where these little tributaries start. So I wasn't expecting a major river here. Oh, okay, downwind, cool. Ooh, we have a lake over there. That's good. I see a lake on the sectional, so that's a good thing. We're heading in the right direction, guys. I'll pop over to voice here in just a moment, my friend. I want to make sure I get over the top of these Cascade Mountains. 5,400 gets me clear, so technically I am clear of the mountains, but I would feel a lot better. Visually, it doesn't look like I'm clear, though, does it? So Cascade Pass, it's got to be, if it's what's right in front of me, I've got some work to do yet. Unless I can hang a bit of a right here. Maybe it's down this valley, but I have enough room right here. It's open enough that if I need to, I can just do a quick 360 climb and be just fine. That sure doesn't look any more promising. So this must be it, I guess. Maybe my sectional, either my sectional is off, or I ended up not where I thought I was actually at. I don't know, but we're there. We're gonna try for it. We're up. We're gonna be 6,500, and we're making good power right now. And like I say, I've got plenty of room. If I need to turn around, I can turn around. I will get over on this right-hand side though, just in case, because the closer I get to the top, the less room I do have to turn. Downwind Sim did teach me a maneuvering. Oh, there's so the pass is kind of over here. Well, maybe not. I don't know. And with ortho, I also know sometimes the ortho doesn't necessarily render right down exactly to the foot in terms of accuracy. It's pretty darn good though. Pretty doggone close. Very cool. Yeah, we're gonna make it. Yeehaw! Why does it look like my door's off? That was weird. Alright, so once we get over the top, we will have El Dorado Peak, which is that guy right there, I'm assuming. That's an 8,800 foot peak. We need to keep that guy off of our right-hand wing. And, yeah, Titanium Druid gonna get back and pound some patterns. That's a good thing, my man. Thanks for stopping by, buddy, and check in later on. Here, give me about an hour or so, and I'll be ready to land at Lyndon. Come see how many bounces it takes me. All right, Black Fox, that is good news. Very cool. And as with what little I know about scenery work, trying to create something that works in the FSX world, that's quite a feat, man. So that's pretty awesome. All right, so through the pass, and like I say, just going to try to skirt this valley. And roughly, I have on my sectional about 268 for about 15 minutes. So I'm gonna set my timer here, and we should be plenty high. This should be the highest we need to get on this entire section. So this entire leg. So I'm gonna level off here, and we're just gonna kind of get our bearings. I do show another small lake that I should be coming across, if I am indeed in the correct valley. That sim stage fright is real. Well, it can be, it can be, man. And I know that there's kind of two ways to do it. And I know you had this conversation last night with my friend Slan Alpha, and he's very much a proponent of take it slow, take it easy. Don't put yourself in a situation where you don't feel comfortable. There's no rush. There's no hurry. There's our lake, by the way. And I can't argue with that. I really can't, because that's definitely an approach that works very, very well. But there is another approach, and it's called the rip the bandage off approach, and that's where you just hop in and you plug into VATSIM, and you go to a little small airport where there's not a lot of traffic, but there's a controller, and you put a note in your in your flight plan. You say, hey, new to VATSIM, any help is appreciated, and you just let them know, and they'll work with you. Those guys will work with you, but you just jump in kind of knowing you're going to make some mistakes, but that's okay, because every time you make a little bit of a blunder, you learn from that. And I mean, if you, I don't know, I feel like I always learn myself faster by doing that than doing the baby steps approach. But again, it's to each their own. I mean, if you just like that step by step, I mean, some of my friends, Downwind Sim's a perfect example of a guy that really preps himself and works extremely hard to get ready before putting anything, before going live, essentially. And although I don't think necessarily he's kind of, I may if I misspeak, Downwind. In fact, this is when I should get on the voice, but I'll just say this so you can't verbally argue with me. But I would say that the VAT sim part of it, you've really kind of that's not an issue for you. You've done enough VAT sim that you don't have any problems getting on and talking to controllers and that kind of stuff. You're more um, you're very, I think, not a perfectionist, but you're driven to excellence, and you really want to have things down. You want to have um, you want to have your checklists and your processes and all that stuff. You want to have all your systems. You want to know what they do. You want to know your aircraft. You want to feel comfortable in your aircraft first before you do anything. Before you stream or do anything like that. Which again that's a great approach, because if you go on his Twitch and you look at the things he's put out, they're very, very good, and you don't see a lot of the comedy show type stuff that you see on mine, where I'm stalling and crashing and bending metal and yada yada yada. So anyway, baby steps and then build on them. That's what he would tell you, Titanium Druid. And what I'd tell you is hop in the PMDG 737 and go to Chicago O'Hare and freaking rip the bandage off, man. Don't be like me, Titanium. But no, there is you'll find your way, man. You'll find your approach, and but I think the first thing to understand is that the air traffic guys, the ATC guys, they really are there to work with you. They want to help you, and they want to make sure that you learn, and they're not there to get you. They're not there to ding you. They just want to make VATSIM as realistic as possible. And so the better they can make pilots, the better they can educate the pilots, the more realistic their experience is as well from the ATC side. So they're good guys. I have very, very good experiences with almost every single ATC that I've ever come across in several years. Yeah, and downwind sim. Yep, exactly right. You just have to get on comms, and you just have to go listen to liveatc.net for a while, or tune in to listen to Steve01 Knievo on YouTube. Listen to oh heck, Captain Moonbeam, another one that's very, very good as far as comms. There's a bunch of them, and yeah, and just yeah, and yeah, we don't. If you haven't guessed, most of the stuff we do is kind of like this, where there's really very little ATC to worry about. You're just talking to each other, and that's actually been super good for me, because the voice unicom is something that that I don't, I'm not good at, and so making those CTAF calls, you can hear me. I'm stumbling all over the place, and it's way longer than it needs to be, but yeah, you just have to do it. Okay, so I'm hopeful that we are coming up on marble mounts. So this is what we've done so far. We've kind of zipped through Cascade Pass. We've been following this nice little valley, the Cascade River, and then here's Marble Mounts, and then so this now is the Skagit River. It's a bigger river. Again, it has a nice big road here, and then that should lead us towards Mears Field, the concrete municipal. And all right, so I'm at a point now where I'm ready to be distracted by Mr. Downwind Sim. So I'm heading to voice. I may have, yep, I still have my push talk set. Hello, Downwind Sim.
Hi.
Welcome.
How are you?
Welcome. I'm doing great, man, and happy to have you on, keeping me company.
It's nice to be here. Sorry, I was out taking care of our pastor moving in. His father-in-law is going to memory care, which is not a good thing, but we're doing a little service today.
Yeah, good. You can help out though. You're kind of like me, strong back, weak mind.
I don't know about the strong back sometimes.
Yeah,
as I get older, that becomes less and less. See?
That same with me. I'm a used to be guy now.
Yeah.
Well.
So tell me about the flight. I just popped in. So tell me What? Give me the rundown.
Sure. So we made it to Stehekin State yesterday, and I just decided instead of flying. Originally, I was going to fly tomorrow from Stehekin up to Lyndon, and then join the Bush League event, but I wasn't positive I was going to be able to get up there in time. You know, by the time I get off of work, sometimes it's only a half an hour before we start that event. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll just get up there today. And so we took off from Stehekin State. We climbed up the river there. I was not 100% sure we were going to make the pass. I'm a little bit confused because Sky Vector has Cascade Pass at like 5,400, and we needed every bit of 6,500 to get over the top. So I'm not sure what happened there. If that's a
Thing?
well, or I mean, I guess it could be. You know, that's one thing I did not check when I left. Ooh, that's a good call. I did not double check my altimeter. So yeah, that could very well be. That actually makes the most sense of anything. But anyway, we're just about to the Skagit River, and we're going to hang a left. We'll actually just kind of stay about a 230 heading, which is kind of what we're on right now, and past Concrete, which I believe is one of the airports that we're flying tomorrow.
It is.
And
yeah, it is.
And then we're going to we'll locate the South Fork of the Nooksack, and we'll follow that Nooksack River up into Lyndon, and if we can put it on the ground without breaking anything, we'll be ready to go for tomorrow.
Very cool. You gonna stop by Williams on the way? You're just a stone's throw away.
Tempting, but no. I think honestly, I was actually tempted to do some sandbar work yesterday, and I held off for that as well. But no, I think I'll save that for tomorrow. I'm excited about that.
Hello?
Hello, I'm there.
Okay.
I might have pushed the wrong button. Anyway, I'm excited about trying it tomorrow, so I'm leaving it as kind of a little bit of a surprise for tomorrow.
Okay, very good. Well, I will tell you that I flew around Williams last night, and there are a few sandbars that I have made it onto, but I have not made it off.
Yeah, that's right. Isn't that the old bush pilots? They always talk about that when you're looking at those sandbars, you got to think about the takeoff, not the landing.
Yeah. And then, well, if you recook that tile with the water, there's no forgiveness.
So I didn't end up recooking the tile. I just pulled in the OSM files that you shared, and it definitely looks much better. It has that like that reflection quality like you would see with water. Do I need to go back into ortho for XP then and still recook it, or is it okay just as it is?
Yes. No, you need to recook it for those OSM files to be incorporated into the scenery.
Okay, good to know. So it's just like the regular process, just like if I was to go in and redefine those areas or those polygons or whatever. I got you.
Yeah, and I ended up the sandbar that's to the east of where the bridges are. I ended up like putting a smoothing area on that one just because that one was really rough, and that's one of the more fun ones to attempt to get in and out. There's plenty of room, but you got the bridges there and all that now.
Yeah,
and that makes that a lot of fun.
It would appear, and I haven't landed there yet, but it would appear that you would want to land to the west and probably depart to the east just to avoid the bridge, right?
Well, it's just kind of pilot's choice.
Guess we'll have to see what the weather's like.
There you go.
Okay, so folks, I think I've picked up the Skagit River.
So you're pretty close then. You're maybe 30 minutes out.
Yeah, not too far. I always have to factor in about like an extra 30 minutes for me to, once I get in the area, to actually find the field. But yeah, we're getting there. So as I look at
Very
my
good. I lost the
sectional,
back half of that on the
I think we've
on the
picked up.
Discord, but
I think
you
we've
must not
picked
have
up
you must have
the.
a fat button or something.
Yeah, I've been doing my push to talk, and I sometimes I let go too soon, or it's the delay.
Okay.
You know how I'm not good with the push to talk. Anyway, I think we're on this little section here. It's a little short section. Then it turns back up a little bit further to the north, and hopefully we'll see the.
Slant Alpha says pretty close. 30 minutes out equals not the same thing. Not on this plane.
Yeah. So Slant Alpha, your ears must have been burning because we were talking about you there. Hello, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The Bush Hooligans. Yep, we're at it again. We're at it again. So so there's a couple of lakes here. We're just kind of checking on the sectional, and those should be. It looks like Lake Shannon here. So we should be getting pretty close to Mears now. Let's get our eyes on and see if we can't find that. Probably one of the weakest parts of my pilotage so far has actually been finding these airfields um, that we were hoping to use, and I think a big reason is I'm always flying right over the top of them. So I'm going to try to slide over. Yep, I guess what? My frame rate's too low. Oh my goodness. So I'm getting that same. So there you go. This is Slant Alpha was talking about this last night. There's an automatic disconnect that happens if your frames drop to a certain level. So hopefully that, okay, there I believe is Concrete Municipal. So that's very good. So we're going to keep going up that valley. But anyway, I need to finish a thought here. One of the things I've done the poorest job of is finding airfields along the way. I've done a pretty good job of finding major landmarks like rivers and mountain peaks and lakes and things like that. But finding the airfields has not been good, and I believe it's because I tend to go right down the middle of the valley instead of one side or the other, and then I end up just right over the top. And I don't have my glass window installed like they have in those helicopters just yet. That's kind of what I need to look straight down. But anyway, then back to that frame error that I don't know if you saw or not, but. So there's a weird glitch that if your frames drop below 20 frames per second, your airspeed does not render the same for the ATC as it does for you, and so it causes a lot of confusion as far as that goes. And anyway, the X-Pilot, the new pilot client for X-Plane, has a feature in it that will automatically disconnect you if that happens. So it looked like it said you have 30 seconds, like a little countdown. This message will self-destruct in 30 seconds. But so that's interesting.
So did it disconnect you?
No, I'm still connected, so apparently I must be okay. And I don't have anything. I guess I could turn that on. There's a way to do that up in like data or something, but I'm not going to worry about it. If we get disconnected from VATSIM, that's really not a huge deal for what I'm doing today, just because there's no ATC. Plus, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm avoiding all the big airspaces. Okay, Slant Alpha is saying it's not the airspeed. Time actually slows down, and then the aircraft behind you at the airspeed will run you over. Yeah. All right. Well, hello, Concrete Municipal. We will see you tomorrow, everybody down there. So just a little quick jaunt now, about 10 miles, and all I'm looking for is...
You don't have to keep that push to talk button mashed. I'll just listen on your stream.
Okay. It's not on right now, is it? Yeah, I think it's... I've had it off for the last several minutes, hopefully. I'm just looking for a crease. I'm like like Derrick Henry against the Patriots defense right now. I just need a little crease so I can head north and pick up the Nooksack River. If worst comes to worst on this, I'm looking. I think there's a little bit of a crease here in the terrain. If worst comes to worst, I'll just keep going on the Skagit down here to this town, Sadro Woolley, and then I'll just follow. I'll just head north from Sadro Woolley. But if I can maybe catch this little valley here, it saves a little bit of time, and I'll see if I can find that Nooksack River, the South Fork of the Nooksack. So I'm at 4,000, and the terrain around is a little bit above that. So I'm thinking it might be this little slot right here. That's what we're going to shoot for. Look at me making 100 knots. Oh, well, I'm also redlining my RPMs. That's not good. Been a while since I did an instrument scan. So making good power. Charging. Suction good. Everything else now is good. Still have the landing light on. Not sure why. Turned it off for now. Instead of a landing rate prediction, and instead of my alternate landing rate prediction, so most people, like if you're watching Slant Alpha, you're watching Black Fox, you're watching Downwind Sim, they've got all these fancy bots that tell you how smooth or not smooth they land, and you make all that, and you win prizes and all that. Well, for me, it's the alternate is usually yes or no or number of bounces. And I'm going to do a different. Well, I'll hold off on that. I have a different idea for a landing rate prediction today. I'll hold off on that. Well, no, I won't hold off on it. The landing rate prediction for me is: will I remember to use carb heat or not? So far, only one of the landings that I've done up to this point, I've remembered to turn the carb heat back on. So no one watches me in FSX except the night we tuned in and I crashed. Well,
just wait till your engine coughs on approach, and then you're like, you'll never forget it again.
Yeah. Well, I literally don't have any other plane in any sim that uses carb heat. And so it's so foreign to me, and you know how you get when you just get used to doing certain things with every aircraft on approach, no matter what. So anyway, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Slant Alpha says you should scan instruments at least once or twice a flight.
The carburetor icing?
Well, I don't know yet, because I've always just ran it with perfect weather. I'm assuming it does, because it has that as a part of the checklist, and it mentions that in the POH, and kind of like the walk around stuff I've been doing. I'm assuming that at some point it must be a thing. Otherwise, why would they make a big deal, or not a big deal, but why would they mention it in their their documentation? So I don't know. All right, we're going to shoot it here. We're going to say this is where we want to go, and we're going to pick up the South Fork of the Nooksack River. And if we, with any luck, we should see a lake. Lake Whatcom.
Say that 5 times fast.
Oh my goodness. And I've flown up here quite a bit in P3D, because I have some of my West Wind private. I have some sceneries up here that's kind of cool. But so we should see a lake. We should see a nice road and railroad track, and of course we should see the South Fork of the Nooksack River. There we go. There's a casino nearby, huh? Interesting. Float Haven. That sounds like a great name for a water aerodrome. Now, that's something I haven't been in a long time, is my float plane. I need to break out the DHC2 Beaver and slap the floats on and go messing around in some of the lakes and stuff. one of the updates, or one of the things that they have advertised with the latest X-Plane update, is improved water. How do they put it? But sounds like maybe it handles planes that have floats handle a little better on water. And I know Downwind, you had talked about how that could be a little bit iffy in the past. I think I see the Nooksack River there, my friends. Downwind Sim external camera, carbon fiber pole with a 30-foot reach, and you just put a GoPro on the outside of it and you stick it out your window. It gives you some pretty cool shots. You've seen that 360 camera that Trent Palmer has on his Kit Fox, right? It looks, actually it's on.
Yeah, that's a pretty quick deal.
The camera that he has, it looks like, it's hard to explain, but it looks like this. It looks like you're out here in front of the plane. It's really, really interesting. It's that same kind of technology that they have on vehicles now that make it look like you have a camera that is over the top of your vehicle. That's really awesome. The Downwind Sim selfie stick. It's all part of a family of products from Downwind Sim Industries, including binoculars, a ladder, and seems like there's one other thing, maybe some kind of energy drink of some sort. I think he may be working on a problem offline here. All right, so ball bearings, Downwind Sim ball bearings. Oh, I see. It must be an FSE thing. So Black Fox, you're part of that cult, Downwind Sim, or that Slant Alpha warns about. I need to start cutting some altitude here, my friends. We're getting to Van Zant here pretty soon. We're going to have a fork in the road. We need to stay to the left, and we're actually going to go past, even though I don't know how well it'll be rendered here, but West Wind Airport is coming up. It's an Orbix scenery in P3D, and it's just a cool little farm strip. But it has a couple of other strips that come as bonus strips, and it's pretty fun. So we're going to start to slow down, because I think when we get to this little hill in front of us, we need to bear left. About 294 is what my sectional shows, roughly. And I'm thinking that we're gonna, thinking we're also gonna stay to the south of this big guy right here. We actually are getting into, I didn't look at this too close, getting into an airspace here, Class Delta. We should probably talk a little bit to air traffic control. Well, we don't have any air traffic control, so yeah, as we get a little bit closer, we would need to check in. I think what we'll do is we'll just check in with on the Unicom, just in case there's somebody in there trying to fly in. I also do see a VOR that's in the neighborhood, like right next to it. It's the Whatcom VOR. I could tune that guy in just because I'm not sure zigging and zagging through here exactly which way we're going to go. We're on that 294 track right now. Maybe I just need to stay here. And
the Whatcom?
It is, exactly. Who's on first com?
The identifier is, huh?
It is. Check it out. I love it. So this is the Whatcom VOR, and the identifier is HUH. Oh my goodness. So if we wanted to use that, we could. I would say, man, oh man, what is that?
That'll fit right in with the hooligans.
Good Lord, I don't even know. There's so much crap in here. I don't even know what radial it would be. There's Niner. Wait a second. There's Niner. So 80, about 70 to 80. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to use it. That is funny. Some people just have way too much time on their hands as far as that kind of stuff. But I'm sure glad they exist. They make life really that much better. So the town of Van Zant should have been back here. I was chit-chatting and I didn't notice if we actually saw it or not. I'm gonna go this way because this is about 294. There is a road. We don't have we've kind of lost contact with the Nooksack River here as well, which is not a good thing. I'm gonna get down to about, oh, I don't know, about 3,000 just for now. The Lyndon, I'm just gonna kind of click on the elevation at Lyndon is only 106 foot, so I do need to lose. Okay, there's my Nooksack River. So we're doing okay, although we're going a little more north than maybe the sectional shows, but that's okay. The Nooksack should take us if I'm, well, now that I look at this, it may fork off. There's a looks like it's meandering that way as well. So this could be a typical flight for me where I get within 10 miles of the airport. It takes me an hour to get within 10 miles of the airport, and then it takes me an hour to find the airport. Alright, let's level off right here. And there is a town of Lyndon that looks like it's a pretty good town. So that could kind of be my next clue, I guess. This looks like we got a little something right here. That could be.
The airport is right next to a golf course.
That's West Wind Airport, if I'm not mistaken. That looks very much like West Wind Airport. Actually, no, that's not West Wind. That is one of the. That's one of the 3 airports that comes with the West Wind pack. That's an unnamed, but in P3D it actually has a little seaplane tie-off right there. But that's a fun strip to fly into. It's got a little ranch at the end. So, but we're coming up on. So we're going the right way. West Wind Airport should be up here, and it kind of runs a little bit more. I think it's actually a little bit more north and south. Well, anyway, we're in the right neighborhood. We just need to keep going, essentially. About another 7 miles. $2,500.
Is that Riverside 4WA8?
4WA8. I don't see where that's at, my friend. I think we just went past. I think we just went past one of the. I think we just went past West Wind. The one I was looking at wasn't West Wind, but West Wind is like a mile from there, so that'd be my guess. So you said Lyndon is near a golf course. That actually does help quite a bit because this ortho will render that. All right. Yeah, some of those star waypoints, they are really good.
The construction crews are finishing up the hangars.
Ah, very good. So I'll see you. I'll see your truck down there. Is that what you tell me? All right, Slant. Sorry about the connection issue.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping in. You can catch the last 5 minutes of it anyway. It's the most entertaining part of all of my streams. So thanks for stopping by, man. Good job yesterday, by the way. I watched your arrival. You look like a seasoned veteran, man. That 727, it's just made for you. All right, well, I need to get over on one side so I can see where the heck I'm going. I should have a town coming up. I should have a golf course as well. And with any luck, an airfield. Still on the Nooksack. I think it looks like it forks here at a certain point, and then I need to head, there we go. I think that looks like my turn to the west. Right here off of my 11 o'clock, and that should lead me down into the promised land. This field is an east-west field, so if I am able to, by some miracle on ice, actually locate the field, I'm going to try to make straight in. I think we've got to be within about 5 miles.
Tune in that VOR, would you?
No. I don't know where to shoot it. There's too much. What radio would I even use? There's too much information.
I'm just trying to get a distance.
Okay. I don't have a DME on this bad boy either, though.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's so I know a direction, but I don't have, unless there's a DME somewhere that I don't know about. I think we're good. I know this car, honey. So we're at 2,000 feet, still a little bit high. I do have a notch of flaps in just in case, like I say, we happen to find it, we happen to get lucky. And this does look a little bit more like a town in front of me here, so let's back off on the throttle just a bit.
So Kendall and Maple Falls are to your right up that other valley, I
Okay,
think.
okay. You've never led me astray before, downwind.
And Lyndon is out in that flat spot up there, probably to the right of around those mountains.
Okay. Very good, very good. Well, I see a river still, and that's a good thing.
Just keep that river right on your left.
Okay.
Or keep the river on your left, and you should be good.
Keep the right liver on my river, to the left on my right. Right? I know exactly what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay. All right, I do have a notch of flaps in. We're going to just keep it here at about 70. We're going to take full advantage of the slow flying characteristics of the Cessna 152. That does, by the way, have a little curvature of the wings. I believe it's a bit of a, it's not a complete stall kit, but it's got that curved wing. I'd have to look at the top of the wings to see if it has anything else. Those, what are those called? Those little deflector knobs. Oh, I don't. The 182 backcountry pilot guy has them, and they kind of whistle at him when he gets on the right angle of attack. You can hear him whistling. That's really cool. He also has a titanium skid plate on his tail, and he'll use his tail like a tail dragger sometimes, purposefully. Alright, so according to sources, I should be getting close. This is the VOR 11300. I'm
Okay, so
estimating.
there's an airfield off your left window.
Okay.
That we took out of the
There it is.
of the scheduled flight, but there is one down there.
Okay, that was one we were thinking about doing. We just kind of ran out of time. Gotcha. All right, so we're getting there, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So you can do a touch and go there if you want to.
Nah.
I think that's west wind.
That could be west wind, actually.
Riverside.
Okay.
Riverside 4WA8.
All right. Yeah, that was a little too far up for west wind. All right, I'm still peeking over the top, just looking for. Got something up in front of me. Looks like a gravel airstrip. That's not Lyndon though. Lyndon's asphalt. This sure looks like a town, which is good. Lyndon, the field is on the west side of the town, according to the sectional.
So the Nooksack River will kind of head north, and then it will make a pretty hard turn to the west.
Yep.
And after it turns to the west, Lyndon is the next town ahead.
Yeah, I'm on that. I think I'm on the town of Lyndon right now. I think I'm there, but I'm just not seeing an airport, which is not atypical of me. It looks to me like on the sectional that the river kind of then takes a little bit of a turn to the south, and that's where the airfield is. Looking again for the VOR, looks like it's about like somewhere in like the 62 range. 62, so I'll spin it.
Yeah, I think you still have farther to go.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Let's see here. So if I'm reading this sectional right, I'm kind of in, I'm gonna say about between 60 and 65. So yeah, this is telling me that we're still to the right of that. So this is what I'm looking at, guys, in case you're wondering. So I'm seeing I've been following this Nooksack River, and I think we've hit at least the outskirts. Maybe we haven't yet. Maybe we haven't hit the outskirts of town. It's possible there's bunches of houses up and down this river, but it looks to me like the river turns a little to the south and kind of runs away from the airfield. So that's what I'm hoping to find. Then I've also tuned in. I think this is a 6. That's a little bit to the north of the field. So like maybe 65, somewhere in there. That should line me up. Yeah. I'll spin that to 65. We'll just see what happens.
Just keep that river out your left window.
Yep. There it is. We have slowed down considerably. We're instead of doing 90, we're now doing only 70. So that may be part of the delay here.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Punch it.
All right. If you've hit or what's the old saying? If you hit the Pacific Ocean, you've gone too far. I think that's kind of what this is going to be about.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Or if you hit Canada, you've gone too far. All right, so here's where the river kind of turns west, and This does look like it's city-esque. I would say this is the town of Lyndon. Lyndon Jansen is the airfield. Is that the name of the town also, or is the name of the town
No,
Lyndon
you're
Jansen?
over Everson and Strandle.
What? Everson and Strandle? I don't even see that on my sectional.
So follow the river to the left, and then keep going.
Everson, I don't even see Everson and Strandle on my. So there goes the river to the west. I think we should be, well, we're not there yet according to the VOR, so we'll keep following the river. Keep following the river. Okay, I see the town of Everson now. Is that what you said, Everson?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, because as I look at it, the town of Lyndon actually falls on the north side of the river. So whatever I was seeing down here was not. Yeah, so I need to go a little bit further. Okay. Ooh-wee, what a view. I definitely threw the flaps in a little bit early, didn't I? That's okay. This is definitely a series that's not based around being in a hurry, so 1,200, that's probably plenty low at this point in time. Get too low, then it's sort of hard to get a lay of the land, really. I'm gonna pick up the throttle just a bit, try to get up to about 1,500. Good thing Mr. Downwind Sim lives in the area. Actually has a summer house in the area. Spends time out here. Knows the country. Actually, one of the guys that was in the stream last night, he lives in Montana, but he had flown or spent some time up in that Washington State area and kind of recognized some things. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I do have dropped frames detected 2 minutes ago, so I hope that wasn't something that everybody had to battle.
Drop frames. I'm outraged.
I don't know what's going on with my internet, man. Sometimes it's just as smooth as silk, and other times I don't know. It's just like, what in the world? Okay, so now I do have some. Wait a minute. What do we see? What's this below us? I think we just flew over it, my man. Does it have like does it have like a little circle on one of the runways? Like a turnaround circle?
That's definitely not it.
Okay, let me show you what I just saw. We'll make a little 360 here. So I wonder see that? Oh, that's just a cul-de-sac or something, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's not it.
I've got airport fever.
Whee! Whee!
There it is. I think we're right over the top of it. Okay, cool. Alright, Lyndon traffic, Cessna 11816.
There it is, right out your right window.
We are just south of the airfield. We're going to just fly west. We'll make a 360 and land to the east, Lyndon. So it looks like perhaps like a runway 6 kind of situation here. Let me look and just confirm. Whoops. Yeah, runway 7. Runway 7. I don't have any weather turned on, so that should be fine. Like I say, probably you would be landing the other way on like 25 if you're in the real world, but we'll just get out here a ways and we'll make this happen. At Lyndon traffic, November 11816, return at final runway 7, Lyndon. Alright, we were pretty well right next to it, so we may overshoot this slightly. I bet we'll be in the neighborhood anyway. Alright, there's 070. And there's my airfield, a little bit further this away. Alright. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Second notch of flaps. Carb heat coming on. Landing lights on. And
Carb heat? Carb heat?
wait,
What?
this is a road. This is not a runway. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Right? That's a road. That's not a runway. We don't want to be landing on Elm Street here. We want to actually find the runway. Okay, where are you, runway? I may be just doing a low pass. It's disappeared. For real. Okay. Never mind. Oh boy. This is like a shopping area. What have I done? Where's my runway? Alright, flaps up. We're gonna climb out. Lyndon traffic 11816 on the go. We'll make left traffic for actually we're just gonna go we're just gonna depart to the east. Bierman 7695. This is X-Plane, and this is a guy that's not finding his Lyndon airport, which is typical of me, but yeah, this is X-Plane. There was an airport here moments ago. There's the Nooksack River. All right, well, let's climb back up here, 1,500 foot, and let's see if we can get our bearings. This is kind of what happens to me pretty much every single leg of the series. I have managed to get into the correct area and then not found the airfield on the first attempt. The only one I found it on the first attempt was Stehekin State, the last place I landed. Alright, here we go. We're going to do a little
X-Plane, Bierman, X-Plane.
Yep, the scenery is good. It's this is ortho scenery. And Lyndon traffic 11816. We're on the final now, runway 25, Lyndon. I'm just essentially flying back and forth, I guess, until I find this doggone runway. 25 or 7, it's got to be one or the other, north or west or east.
They have this thing called the traffic pattern.
Well, but I don't.
Sometimes that can be helpful.
But I don't. I have to find the field again. That's what hurt me last time. Is I was too close to the field. If I could locate the field, then I will definitely fly a pattern.
Did I mention to you that I'm good at sarcastic comments?
I heard that. I don't know where, but I did hear that at one point in time. All right, looking. Not seeing much. My VOR is saying I'm getting close. About going to set it down on Elm Street here if I have to. I don't know. Tell us a story, Downwind Sim. I have told none today. You're right. I have been yammering away and not really made one amusing anecdote. I don't know what my problem is today. Okay, according to the VOR, I'm right on top of it, but Lord only knows where it is.
You're probably right on top of it.
Maybe literally, right? Literally. But I would have seen it. I would have seen it. I mean, I flew right towards it.
That's the golf course out your right window.
Okay, there it is. How did I not see that? Alright, so I'm going to... Alright. And Lyndon traffic 11816. We're going to enter a left traffic pattern. We're on left crosswind runway 25, Lyndon. Alright, let's see if we can actually fly a pattern and not lose sight of the airfield.
Left or right?
I did pack... Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Right-hand pattern 425, Lyndon. And we're on the right downwind. Details. It's tough when you have the unofficial CFI flying with you.
I gotta keep you sharp. You've
Dude,
been flying too long.
I have. You're right. I should have given myself a day off. All right, so here we go. We're trying to keep the airfield in sight, which kind of already lost it. To be honest with you, I'm not that far away. There it is.
Hold it here.
I am closed traffic, my friend. I'm the definition of closed traffic. Here we go.
Black Fox, I am not flying. I'm just a little voice in Melvin's ear.
I'm going to keep those two buildings in mind. That's going to help me. Lyndon traffic 11816, right base, runway 25, Lyndon.
Go out farther. Go farther.
Too late.
Go
I'm committed.
Those trees.
I'm committed. Too late. I'm committed. Lyndon traffic 11816, final runway 25, Lyndon. Oh yeah.
Carb heat.
I got this. Carb heat's down. I left it on. That wasn't too bad on the rollout. I am fast though.
Hands in the air and scream now.
Oh man, I'm super fast. I'm 70 knots. Holy cow. I'm way too fast. Way too fast. Bleed off. Come on, bleed off a little bit. Hold her there.
Yeah, somebody said extend the downwind, right?
Hold her there. We're down. Yeah, it wasn't maybe textbook, but
brakes.
Wasn't awful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lyndon Municipal. Ooh, brakes are working. And yeah, this concludes the, I guess the first, I don't know what you would call it, the first segment, the first sort of destination for the Nowhere Fast tour. After we do this, we really aren't going to have a destination in mind. It's going to be just kind of us going to see different places that we are interested in, and hopefully there'll be some folks that live up here near the Lyndon area that can make suggestions. We got a couple of good ones yesterday, some in Montana and some clear out on the East Coast in New York State. But I'd love to know where your cool secret spots are, and if there's one, within a couple of hours. Again, this is an airplane that's a little bit limited in its range, and also the fact that it takes if it's over 100 miles, it's like a long haul, and I don't want to do a 5-hour long stream. But if you happen to have an airport that's nearby Lyndon, let me know. There's lots of ways to do that. Probably the easiest way to do it is just to go to the Discord, my Discord channel, and I'll have the information here in the outro, and just make a nomination. If the scenery doesn't exist, then I don't have a problem just creating it myself. That's also part of the fun. So I'm gonna pull over here, and yeah, Black Fox, thanks for tagging along. Really, everybody that's come along. Downwind Sim, of course. Slant Alpha popped in here. Bierman 7695. And geez, it seems like there was a couple other guys. Yeah, Titanium Druid stopped by early on as well. Good to have all you guys along for the ride and for any of the legs here. And hopefully you can tune in tomorrow when we do the January edition of the Backcountry Bush League. Sorry, the Bush League Backcountry Fly-In. It's going to start here at Lyndon, and heck, I don't know. We've got 5 or 6 airfields in the area that we're going to be visiting, and as you can tell, just an extremely scenic area. We're going to be flying around Mount Baker essentially, and just playing around on the Nooksack River. So it should be a ton of fun. And if you can't fly in it, it's okay. Tune in and see what we do, and then maybe you'll be able to join us. We do it on the first Monday of every month. So here's what else is coming up for me on my channel. Besides Monday, of course, I am going to go back out to Boston on Tuesday. I'm going to be jumping in the Just Flight Turbo Aero. They've got a regional circuit set up. They do this every couple of weeks, so that should be a lot of fun up there in the BVA area. Thursday, I was thinking about either doing some backcountry scenery testing, or I may hop in the 727 and try a flight. I'm getting a little bit better. Not good yet, but a little bit better with that. So that might be what Thursday looks like. And then this coming up next Saturday, it's the Canadian Pacific Historic Flight number 2. We're going to be going Winnipeg to Toronto to Montreal in the Aerosoft DC-8. That'll be back in the P3D world. And then beyond that, well, I'll let you know. There's a lot of good stuff in January coming up. So stay tuned. Click that little heart button there. Follow along, and you'll get notifications. Normally Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday streamer. This obviously a little bit of a bonus stream because who in the world cannot get enough of the Cessna 152? Am I right? I'm telling you what, this is a beautiful bird. Ooh, I should get this thing shut down though before I do too much more carb heat in. Let's turn the air off. We'll turn all of our electrics. You're right. I'm loaded, man. I'm totally loaded. All right, we'll pull the mixture back. Throttle's already to idle.
I gotta get you a paint job though.
You do. That's right. You do. You gave me one for a different version, but it hasn't worked unfortunately for this one. And so yeah, if you want to do that, that'd be way cool. Generator's off. That's off. And I think we're good. That's it for me. I hope you guys have a fantastic remainder. Yeah, you don't. Have a fantastic remainder of your weekend. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be looking for you guys on the TCAS. And until next time, take care. God bless.